Hari Om, Swami Satchitananda here. I want to speak about something very important, I think, for the society now. It's on rights and duties. If you look at how the world is progressing, more and more you will see that people are talking about rights. What right I have under the Constitution, what right I have in a free country, and so on and so forth. And it is extended so far that very young children, I know, even the child of age of 10 or 12 is actually suing the parents in court for not giving what they want. Okay, I'm sure this is not the general case, but it's an extension of the idea how far this idea of rights has gone. Okay, and we know that every minority community, majority community, any community, all the time the talk is about what is my right, what is my right, what is my right. Okay. All right, you have many rights. As a free country, as a person in a free country, you have many rights. But traditional countries, traditional communities, if you talk about the Vedic community, they talked about a duty based economy, duty based society. Okay? Today we are a right based society. The difference that is shifted from a duty based society to a right based society. What does duty based society mean? It means that as individuals we have very many roles to perform. Right? A normal person has role to perform of either as a father or mother, or as a husband or wife, or as a brother or sister, or as an employee, or anything that you are doing in society as a helper. We have some specific roles to perform in that. Right? And in these roles, if you know your duties correctly, all right, then we say that the rights will be automatically taken care of. Let me give you an example. Okay. For example, if between say two people who are cohabitating together, we call it partner, you call it husband, wife, whatever you want. But suppose the husband, as a husband, he has certain responsibilities, certain duties to perform. Right? As a father of the children, he has certain duties to perform. Now, if he performs that duty, then the children will not ask for a right to be, they will not demand a right from that. Because in performance of his duties, he would take care of the needs of the other people in the family. When a parent does not perform that role, then there is a problem. Even among the parents, let us take about husband and wife, or the male and the female in a relationship. The husband has got a particular role. Do you think that the lady of the house can do the same role as the man, has the same duty as the man? It is not possible because nature has designed a woman in a different way. Right? They have the power of conception. They have the period of time in which the child is in the body in the before the birth. There is a deep relationship that you get with the child there, and then the child is born, and then you have a duty to grow them up. And after having had children, one of the primary duties of a father or mother is to grow the children well. Okay? In the simple aspect of growing the children well, there are many duties that they have towards each other. If the man is expecting the woman to do what the man is doing, it will not happen. If the woman is expecting the man to do what she is doing, that is also not going to happen. So each one has their role. If you do your duty, then the rights will automatically come. Like, for example, take students. The student duty is to study, get himself prepared for the life that he is going to spend, learn the skills and the knowledge that is required at this time of brahmacharya. Alright? Now, instead of doing that, he is doing something else. Alright? instead of performing that duty, he is doing something else. Like he takes up a job very early. He is got out of school at 10th standard and is trying his job. Then his whole life is ruined. Because whatever you say, the point is if you want the person to fit into society well, then the person must go through a proper set of education or must have extraordinary genius skill available with them. So the people who don't have the genius skill have to go through the process of studying the proper thing based upon the attitude and the inclinations of that person. Now, if the child doesn't do its duty, what will be the payoff? Now we have the case of childbirth, children, women who are not yet adults but have given life to children, and who are in a mess because they are not earning money, they don't know how to take care of children, they don't know sometimes they don't even know who the father is. Now the whole thing has broken down because you did not understand your role. I think one of the things that people today have underestimated is the role of the father and the mother. The father's and mother's role is so crucial for the development of the child, for the development of values within the value system within the home. And this is not really appreciated or understood today in a right-based society. Because in performing that role of a parent or as a father of a child, the person must act as a model. Because a child learns only from seeing the father or mother behave in a particular way. And he must be able to show his behavior apart from telling them what is right and wrong. This is a big job. Big job, it's not easy job. If you want a shortcut and you don't want to perform your job. So I have a friend today who says that, yeah, I have got a husband, but he drinks with his son. The son is only 16 years old. So I said, now he's certainly not knowing what his duty is. Right? There is a defocus in what his duty is. Similarly, the woman of the house has an enormous role in society because she holds up the value system and carry forward the value system to the next generation. Now, the access of the child to the mother is much more to the access of the child to the father. And the proximity is much more because of the very fact that she has been able to bear the child, keep the child, bear the child, and give the child unconditional love in the first 1-2 years. Because of this, she has a tremendous role to play of how the child develops, not physically, but emotionally and spiritually also. Well, at least if not spiritually, at least let us say the 10 commandments at least, or the value system, the Yama Nema. Some values by which they can live their life. So this is a tremendous role for a mother. It cannot be just done like that. It can't be done by absentee mothers, no. Not possible. It can't be done by a nanny, no. So we have forgotten our duties. And therefore what we are doing, we are trying to focus on the rights. If the duty is well performed, the child will not have anything to ask. If a husband does his duty as is required for his wife or his partner, the wife will automatically respond to it. She will not have to ask. Because in performing the duty, he knows he has to give her a space. He knows he has to treat her with respect. He knows he is the mother of the child. She is the mother of the child. Similarly, the mother knows the child needs the father. The mother cannot perform the role of the father. The father is that model for the son and daughter. Right? Something who they can look up to. He goes out, does things, earns money for the house, is mancho, right? So the father has got a very delicate role, and the impression that he plays with children is very, very different, but at the same time makes the child whole. The child must grow as a whole person, not as a half person. So if this has to happen, then the father must perform his role. Now you take any of the duties that you have got in your life as a brother, as a sister, as an employee, as an employer. As an employee, I remember the role of a, I remember the story, it's a very interesting story, of a person who was working with a startup entrepreneur. It's a driver. And he was paid some minimum salary which is required for a driver, they paid him. So this man suddenly started a good company and he told this driver, see, you will do well because I am giving you some 2000 or 5000 shares of this company. These papers are there, you keep it with you. He looked at the paper and he said, I don't know what this 5000, what is this paper meaning? You keep it with you. So he kept it with him. And then after 20 years, that company had grown so big that each share was worth thousands of rupees or dollars. And at that time, he told this man that, listen, we are a big company. You see how many buildings you have got, how many things you. Yeah. So I gave you these shares. I gave you these shares, 5000 shares I gave you. Now today you don't require to work with anybody. Why don't you take this money and enjoy it? And he said, are you telling me that I should leave your job? What are you trying to tell me? That you want me to quit your job? I worked for you for so long. How can you say this to me? I have done my duty to the best of my responsibility. Are you not satisfied with what I have done? So, even in the role of a driver, you can do many things. It's not just a driver, it's something more than that. These people are rare to find today. So, each role has a responsibility. And the cultures, the Vedic culture, was a duty-based society. It is assumed that when each person does his duties, then automatically the rights of the other person is taken care of. Today we have moved to a situation where the person does not talk about duties at all. They are talking about rights. Now rights can come only after duties. If persons don't do their duties and they want their rights, obviously it is going to be a very distorted kind of society, a distorted way in which the world will be moving. And that's exactly what's happening today, right? So people are asking, what is my role? Somebody says, I can be both father and mother for the child. You cannot be. Right? You cannot be. So you have some strength, no doubt. And I'm sometimes surprised, when male and female is talking about the kind of feminism or in the case of men, kind of macho behavior. These are meaningless talks as far as I am concerned. There is a great balance and equity between two people, both male and female. It's called equality, not equality, equity. That means one can perform a role, other person cannot perform that role. That is why the other person is there. So this equity is not being understood, and we are seeking equality. Okay? So equality, does it mean that okay, if a man is going to the army, the woman also should go to the army? Maybe. But then there is an equity aspect of it when it comes to children, building up the behavior of the children, of the way they are grown up, and so on and so forth. So this, I think, there is a need for a serious relook at this situation. All right. In the culture, in the old Vedic culture, lot of talk is about duties. It is called Swadharma. In the Gita also, Krishna tells Arjuna, see, you do your Swadharma well. You do the duty that you have to perform well. Then only it will be possible for you to move forward in life spiritually or otherwise. You have a particular role in society. You are of a Kshatriya group. You are the king. You are supposed to protect people. You are supposed to fight for that which is adharma. When you find these people are there who are not following dharma, to fight them and to protect the society from them. That is your role. Now, if you stand there on the battlefield and say, I'm not going to fight, that means you are not performing your role. So, this is a long story. So, he gave him all the explanation. And then I told him, Arjuna, do your duty, perform your duty. Don't worry about the results. I am the one who will be doing the job for you. You are not going to do the duty. I am doing the duty. But do it as your duty. Because in that you will find that something which is not very happy has to be done. Then you still be able to do it. Well, I'm giving you an example how. Suppose is your own child and the person has been, the police are hunting for it because he has killed somebody. When he comes home to you asking for protection, will you protect him? So this is the question. So normally, as a father or mother or parent, I would like to protect him because he's my child. But something tells me, no, it's not correct. The person has committed a horrible sin of killing somebody. That's the biggest sin one can commit. So I have to give him up to society to deal with him as he would deal with anybody else, and I have to detach myself. So there are many situations in which these things occur, and you have to perform your duty. Then only the real meaning of understanding of the duty will come up. Some part of the duty when you perform, there are some negative things that will happen, but you still perform your duty. There is some positive things that happen, you perform the duty. And that tomorrow, the world of tomorrow are your children. Okay? World of tomorrow is not you, not me or not you. We will all be gone. Like flies will be gone tomorrow. They are the people who are going to be there. We have to give them the best. As parents, you should ask yourself that, am I performing my role? Am I really performing my role for the children? A teacher should ask herself, am I come here to teach, to make money for myself, or am I come here to develop children for the next generation? Of course you are getting a salary, but you must be able to give your very best, because you are dealing with a delicate child which can be grown. Now if you take it to be just a salary that you are earning, the attitude will be very different. If you take it as a person involved in the growth of a person, then you will know what the teacher will be like. You must have had some teacher like that in your lifetime, and you have loved it. So, performing of duties doesn't mean that we are a old society. No, don't be under the wrong impression. Old societies, you will see, always will talk about duties first, and while each one performs their duty, the rights are taken care of, and the very strong rights, particularly in the old, in the Vedic times, the women were very strong. Where did they get this strength from? They get their strength because others are performing their duty, and she is also performing that duty. You know, the Vedic Vedas itself, they are intuited knowledge. That means it does not belong to somebody written it. It's something, a very pure person gets the reflection of the vibrations of the universe and is able to convert it into something which is called words. Okay? There are many women involved in that, as much as there are men. And that means they can rise to that high level of purity. And to differentiate these people as men and women as something different from each other, I don't understand this at all. It makes no sense. If you perform your duties, you will find that yes, you have got some right. You have got some inherent qualities as a woman the man cannot have, and the man has certain inherent qualities which the woman cannot have. Why can't we see this, for God's sake? So, because we are saying this is my right, this is my right, this is my right. So think about it seriously, because the next generation of people, we must spend a little time on that and ask yourself, tell yourself, no, it's not just the money that they are going to make that is going to make them happy. There is something much more than that. Have we really done something? And people who have younger children now, don't postpone, do it now. How to incorporate the values, how to incorporate hard work, how to incorporate truthfulness, how to incorporate ahimsa. how to incorporate value of everything, of food, of time, of space. So these are things which can, if taught by a mother or father who are performing their duties, the child will just soak it up. Because the child is waiting to hear all these things, but nobody is giving it to them. Okay? So think about it. There's something which has been, if you say, been a matter of concern for me, and it's continuing to remain a matter of concern for me. Maybe I'll talk about it again. But this is something where we have failed. Many of us as fathers and mothers and parents, we have failed in this duty. Hari Om. Tat Sat.